Hey everyone, Wednesday, May 10th, 2017, and it's time to go to work on music. It's been a great day so far, and as always, I'm excited for a productive session. Today we're going to hit some online classes as usual. It's going to be a drum day. I'll take you guys through what I'm doing there, and then we're going to continue on the production front hard, knocking out this album one measure, one beat, one note at a time. Let's do it. Okay, great start to the session. Hitting the music technology class, just learning more about Python and Sketch, just kind of going further with that. Taking that slowly because that's not a huge priority right now. Then I'm getting deeper on my music business class, which I'm starting to devote a little bit more time and energy to. Moving forward with the marketing strategy and just doing a lot of review of everything that I've covered in the class up until this point, because I feel that now I'm about to go further with the actual course materials. Now that I've done so much research on all these bands that people have said my music reminds them of. Part of the sad bit is like I don't know how much the record I'm working on right now is going to fully resemble the stuff I've done before. I think it's kind of an evolution of it. So we'll see. That could definitely change like the subgenre ideas, but we'll see. Then I'm moving forward with the songwriting classes, just learning about melody choices for lyrics. And one of the videos I was watching was talking about the use of non-chord tones to write your melody, which I think is really interesting. And then I was moving forward with the harmony book for that class, which is talking right now about taking the groove that you've started your song with and then adding the appropriate chord colors for it to support the lyric story, which I think is very appropriate given what I'm working on right now with my record. And then I took a short, or no, then I hit the drums, just again, keeping that really simple, just my regular warm-up routine, which is just singles, doubles, triples, and quadruples with the feet, singles, doubles, triples, quadruples with the hands, and then mixing it between hands and feet. And then just giving myself a little bit of time to improvise and use kind of like the troubleshooting practice method, which is just like improvising and then figuring out where I get stuck and then finding that lick or that idea that I'm getting stuck on and then kind of slowing that down, working on that, and then building it back up. The idea there is like you're sort of traveling down a road and like you hit these potholes, and then each time you hit a pothole you kind of like try to smooth it out a little bit, and then okay, hit the pothole again down the road, okay, smooth it out a little bit more, so you can kind of get down that road with no bumps, if that makes sense. So then I took a short break and was reading through my arranging book and just reading a little bit about four-part horn voicings, which actually are quite simple. You just take the triad and then add whatever the color tone of the chord is to it. So you have the melody on top, and then if you have triads with the other parts beneath it, then you might add like a seventh or a sixth or something like that that colors whatever chord of the moment you're on. And then the author of that book is now moving into things called tension substitutions, which is where you take tension notes of a chord and substitute it for part of the triad. So, you know, you might substitute the 9 for the 1, which is, the 9 is like a 2 but an octave up. Or you might substitute like the sharp 11, which is like a fourth, for a third or something like that in a major chord, minor chord, and just listing some of the common tension substitutions that exist. And that just colors the sound a little more, makes it sound a little bit more modern and contemporary. and also gives you better options in terms of the voice leading, which is basically like the individual melodies that each harmony part is playing, if that makes sense. So let me know if you guys have more questions about that stuff. I know I'm like rattling off a ton of like theoretical stuff right there, but it's really fun. I really enjoy that aspect of music. I really enjoy learning and understanding the intellectual components of it, and then I also enjoy like just sort of letting that be and then letting that stuff come out as I explore more of the intuitive, creative aspects of music. So yeah, now I'm going to move in on the production front, just try to get some writing done, and I'll update you guys at the end of the session. Hey guys, good writing session. Definitely taken a lot longer than I usually do to do this, and just getting a lot of ideas out on paper. And it seems like every day I'll come to a new place where I feel like, okay, maybe I've got that message that into the words, you know. So what I was working on today was really just reminding myself the job that artists have in society is to tell the truth. And that is a broad enough statement to be malleable. You know, I think you can make that into what you want it to be. And what I really want to do with this record is have the foundation of it be truth. And that's what I wrote at the top of the page as I started writing today, because I feel like it's like, what is it that we're filtering through our instruments and our minds and our sonic structures and our production techniques and all that stuff? Like, what is the essence of that? And I think if you're starting with some bullshit and then you know, polish it really well, it's just gonna suck. So whereas like take an artist like Bob Dylan, where it's like he's got this incredibly powerful message and feeling behind his songs, and it's minimal production, minimal skill. I mean, sorry, but you know, minimal vocal talent, a lot of people would say, but the poetry is so powerful that it just cuts through all that stuff. So I'm looking at myself and I'm looking at like, what really is my story right now? How can I be as honest and truthful with that as I possibly can be in a limited number of words, in a limited scope of song structure, you know? So obviously that's a bit of a challenge. I don't know that I've ever tried to really articulate that stuff in such a restrictive environment, but that's what I'm working on right now. So what I did is I went back to the verse and just started refining that a little bit, came up with some new ideas that really like fleshed out the outline of the story well, I think, and then linked that to the pre-chorus, which then like connects to the message of the chorus, which is like the true message of the song. And it's definitely like a pop formula. So I'm very aware that that's like what I'm dealing with right now, and that may have some inherent problems with it when it comes to like my own creative desires. But I'm gonna give it a shot, and I think that this song could lend itself well to that type of structure. And if it doesn't, it doesn't, you know, and I think I'll know if I'm hitting a wall and I need to just go off into the stratosphere with like some weird stuff. But I'm, I feel like that limitless kind of structure is like, I don't want to go in there lightly. I want to go in there knowing like, okay, this message and these ideas just can't, it's just not going to work to fit them into this prescribed box. But based on the ideas that I have right now for the music of the song, I think that this story fits very well with it. And so I'm just going to keep searching for when I have that, that idea, that concept, and that lyric that really brings it all together. So what I'm going to do is just stop thinking about it. I just had like a good kind of clincher thing that came together at the end of the writing session. And so I'm going to come back to it tomorrow, which is kind of what I've been doing. And I've been thinking about the old ideas I have. I'll go look back over them tomorrow and just see if any of them are really worth anything. And then I'll take the stuff that's good and combine it. So I think my approach with writing right now, I was sharing yesterday or a couple days ago, is just like get a bunch of ideas out on paper and then filter them. So let me know if you guys have any other thoughts on that or any other techniques that you use on your own. I'm certainly interested in trying everything I can, and I'll let you guys know if I come up with better techniques and just how this techniques goes over the next few days as we wrap this track up. So hope you guys are out there grinding toward your goals, enjoying the process as much as possible. That's what I'm out here doing. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.